getting, hi y'all, I'm just getting my TikTok phone set up. Let me plug in my MacBook. All right. Okay, we're good. Okay, well, wait, hold on. Let me. All right, TikTok phone, stay up for me. Okay. Hopefully it stays up. Okay. Let's see. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, I thought I had it kind of set up. My little blue light glasses. Get y'all some blue light glasses if you're on the computer. Oh, I just dropped them. Okay. Amazon got them for like $12 for a 6-pack. You should get them. They definitely help. If you work on a computer, even if you look at your phone a lot, you just wear them while you're using your phone. All right, it's raining and storming here, so we're going to be in the house. I was going to take the dog to the pool, but it is storming. Let's see. I do have a message. So first of all, let me write down what order we going in today. All right, so we're going in the regular order today, folks. Let me write that down first. We're going in the regular order today. Hold on. Let me get all my, I got to get ready for my timestamps and my notes. I like to take my little notes down. All right, so we're going in regular order, the zodiac. I'm just giving it a minute to warm up, let people join. But I'm on all kinds of platforms. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Kick, and WAP. All right. I don't think I have anybody watch me on WAP, but that's where my readings are. Soon I'll be able to do my memberships again on YouTube. That may be a little easier for the folks to kind of join in on. But so today we're going to go in the regular order of the zodiac. Yesterday I went backwards. If you're new to watching this, we alternate because my videos be long. And by the time I get to the last sign, I'll be a little tired. So I want to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to get a good reading. So we switch and go back and forth. I do need to turn the fan on because I can tell I'm going to get hot in here. Yes. So I'm just waiting for some people to join. Matter of fact, let me get the air on. Let me get the fan on. Y'all come on in, get yourself situated, get my tea situated, add a little cold water because it's going to be hot. All right, hold on. Let me get the fan on because I'm going to be burning up. I don't have time. Hold on, y'all. I just had to turn the air back on. Let me know if it get too cold. This is on 70. Okay, I'm back. Welcome, y'all. Hi. Sorry, I'm actually here. All right, don't be a weirdo on Kick, okay? I know when y'all see somebody new, y'all gotta troll them, please. I'm not new to this, okay? I'm just new to Kick. I'm not new to streaming, okay? So, if y'all are watching me, I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Kick, WAP. If you're watching me on TikTok, please do not get scammed. As I grow the channel, there will be fake pages. That was why I deleted my original TikTok because it was getting on my nerves. I had like 20 fake pages. Please do not get scammed, okay? This is my only page. All right, you will not. This is my handle on all of my platforms. It's EeshUrHeartOut. It's no numbers, underscores, none of that. It is the same name on all of my platforms. Again, I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Kick, and WAP. That's WHOP, by the way. That is linked in my bios. That's linked in my description. That is where you can subscribe to get your personal readings. All right. No, I'm not talking to you on YouTube. I was talking to the people on Kick, y'all. I'm on a lot of platforms. If you are chatting on a platform, I literally am watching 3 different chats, okay? So I'm not always talking to y'all. You'll know if I'm talking to you, don't worry. You'll know if I'm talking to y'all. I'm on multiple platforms, I promise. So I do want to give a little general message again. If you're just now joining or if you're new to watching me, this will be saved up on my YouTube channel. It will be time stamped at the end. And you just go to the description below the video. You will be able to like literally just click to your sign. Of course, I appreciate it when y'all watch, all the signs are multiple signs. And you can watch for your moon or your rising, depending on how you guys know how to apply it to your birth chart. And we're going to go in order of the zodiac. So we're going Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. All right, so that's the order that we're going in. I am rebuilding my platform, so shout out to all my supporters, of course, all the returning folks, but shout out to all the new people as well. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. So lately, basically, the messages have been about more so, of course, not allowing spirituality to overtake your own personal intuition. Okay, so I did a very important message yesterday about how your mind is the most powerful resource that you have, no matter what's going on. That is the most powerful resource that you guys have. Okay. um I want to speak on the spirituality versus intuition message really quick, because I was watching. Matter of fact, let me timestamp this real quick. This is a general message for whatever everybody. Um, so lately I've been talking about the difference between spirituality and intuition, right? And when I talk about spirituality, that could be literally any spiritual belief system, including religions, hoodoo, voodoo, whatever you guys believe in, whatever you're using, any African spirituality, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, whatever spiritual belief systems you have versus intuition. They are separate entities, okay? I want to expand upon that. I want to give a very good example of that. I have two examples actually that I was watching the worst ex ever and the worst neighbor ever on Netflix, right? And I'm bringing this up because I gave this message yesterday, and then when I was watching that documentary, it just confirmed it. So on one of the episodes of the worst neighbor ever, the guy, he was on drugs and he was like tormenting the neighbor. He kept throwing bricks through the neighbor's window. He kept trying to fight the neighbor, and he was literally like losing his mind. We knew that. The nice neighbor was praying for him. He also stopped the police from arresting him at one point, saying that, he's going through this, that, and the third, let's just pray for him. The man ended up killing him. Okay, so that's putting spirituality before your intuition. That's an example of that. All right. Another example I saw, and it was on the worst ex ever. It was this lady. She was dealing with this man. The man had asked her to borrow $10,000. She knew not to give it to him. She wasn't going to give him the money. She was like, I don't think he's going to pay me back, but I feel bad, blah, blah, blah. They went to church, and the church sermon was about helping people. So she felt guilty. She gave him $10,000. That man ended up scamming her for that money. Later on, the same man went on to date somebody. They blew up a house for house insurance and ended up killing two of the neighbors. Okay, so please, your intuition is very different than a lot of spiritual belief systems in a lot of cases. So please learn to separate the two. I'm not saying you have to get rid of anything spiritual. I'm just saying they are two separate entities. All right, I just want to throw that out there because I thought that was very interesting that I saw that after what we had discussed yesterday. All right, so we're going to go. That was just a general message for everybody, but we're going to get started with Aries. All right, let me know what signs we have here. If you guys are just now joining, this will be timestamp up on my YouTube. And yeah, so that was the message I wanted to give. Do that information what you will. Think for yourselves. All right, no matter what comes out in these readings, please sit with yourself, sit with your mind, use your mind wisely, make your own decisions for yourself. Cool. Hi, y'all. Welcome. Okay, shout out to the Virgos. Shout out to the Cancers. Okay. Welcome, y'all. Let's see. I don't even know what you're talking about. Who's Jeff? Okay, I don't know what that message even meant. All right, so we're going to start with Aries. Let me timestamp it for my Aries out there. Okay, so we got Virgos and Cancers. That's it. That's all. Okay. Normally we have other like Leos. I have a lot of Leos, like Capricorns. All right, so here we go. Also, my TikTokers. Thank you. My TikTokers, please do not get scammed. All right. Welcome. Okay, we got another Cancer. Happy birthday to the Cancers, by the way. Cancer season still. So happy belated or happy birthday if you didn't have your birthday yet. Shout out to the Capricorn. But yes, if you're on TikTok, please don't get scammed, y'all. Please don't get scammed. This is my only page. I will never DM you, message you. I'm not going to offer to do any spell work for you. That's not me. All right, so Aries, what is this scenario for my Aries? What's the most important situation for the Aries placements? Could be sun, moon, rising. Let's see. Okay, rebellion. All right, so y'all know what rebellion means. To kind of go against the grain a little bit, not really fitting in. It's a little, I was literally about to say that. It's a little different than defiance. Defiance is just straight up not listening at all. I look at rebellion as kind of finding like a little loophole, just being a little different. All right, so rebellion. What role do you play here, Aries, in your reading? Okay, ambition. Okay, so you're working towards something. You're building something up. You have a certain desire that you're working towards. I'm also getting to if this is a situation that you're in, you're trying to remain as professional as possible, or you are remaining as professional as possible. But I do see there's something you could be repeating, something you're repetitively building upon. All right, so ambition. All right, what other role should you play in? Hi, welcome. Welcome, welcome. You must be one of the OGs that used to follow me. Welcome back. All right, so what other energy should you be in, Aries? Glad you found me again. Let's see. Okay, the energy that you should be in is angel. All right, so having patience. This is Sagittarius energy, so in some cases it could be like maybe a Sag is giving you advice. Maybe you may have a Sagittarius placement. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. You may have a Sagittarius like rising moon, things like that. Now, in the case, let's just say you have a Sag rising. That's like, okay, it's time for you to put yourself out there, go out in public, make a good first impression on people. If you have a Sag moon, it may be time for you to kind of retreat, spend more time to yourself. All right, but you may have a Sagittarius around you. I'm also getting to this is the energy of helping somebody, teaching someone, but definitely having patience because this could be the Temperance. All right, so y'all just keep that in mind. That is the energy that you should be in here. Let's see what rebellion is. What is the norm here with rebellion? And we're going to see what you're going to do that's slightly like kind of different. Okay, we got innovation. Okay, so there's a different way of doing something. Everybody else creates or does the same things. There's going to be a different way of making this work. How does everybody else create here? So this could be like, if we're talking about ambition, right? Say at your job, everybody else completes their task the same exact way. I feel like there's a need for you to find like your own flair or your own way of doing something. If you have like a side hustle or if you want to start a business, you may feel like, okay, there's a lot of people in the same vicinity. There's a lot of people in the same business field. Maybe you feel like everybody's kind of doing something the same way. They all have the same system or the same product. There needs to be a way to find something that's tweaked a little differently. So what is everybody doing here with innovation? And then we'll see what's being done a little differently here. Okay, determination and focus. So tenacity. So I feel like everybody is focused on the same thing or focused on the same outcome, maybe the same service, product. What's being done a little differently here? Now, if we're talking about ambition, maybe everybody's focused on the same career path, or maybe everybody's focused on just one career path. All right, but we'll see what else. Let's see. So what's being done a little differently here with rebellion? Interesting. Finesse. Okay, so still being creative, but maybe trying to plan ahead of time. Okay, we got finesse, strength, and fluidity. Okay, let's see. Maybe being a little more sneaky, not really being as focused. All right, maybe trying to take a shortcut. All right, let's see, because that's like the Seven of Swords here. Oh, my nails. No problem. I did it myself, so they not... I'm not licensed, all right? But that's my nails. I'm not licensed. I taught myself how to do it, so, you know, don't do the same process as me. But, all right, so let's see. Let's get 8 cards here for my Aries. Let's see. Okay, you got the 8 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so the 8 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, and then the Chariot. Okay, so literally, I do see somebody having their own way of doing it. This can come out with Cancer energy. I feel like, too, there is information here that's shared amongst a group of people. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. So I feel like somebody picks up the information that is shared amongst the group, and then they have, like, their own way of implementing that information and moving forward on their own. And I say that because the Chariot is 7. 7 is a number of self to me. All right, you could be dealing with a Cancer. You got 10, 10, 10. Okay, there you go. Is the Emperor, Aries. This is your card. 2 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. Okay, so right out the bat, if there's a person involved, like, outside of you, I feel like this person is using this information on their own. That is going to outweigh whatever information they've gotten from you. It just depends on how this works. Like, say you wanted somebody to do something in particular, the information that they've gained from another community may outweigh what they've learned from you. Doesn't mean that you have to change anything, but this is what somebody else is doing. You could be dealing with a Cancer here with the Chariot as well. I see you kind of doing something low-key with just a partner. I'm also getting to the difference is somebody's incorporating up more people than you are. You may be incorporating just one other person, one other individual. This other energy, the rebellious energy, I feel like is incorporating more people. Now, this is within you. It's time for you to get, like, bits and pieces or more information. Like, I would do maybe market research, or you're networking more with different types of people. And I say that because also, if you're supposed to be an angel energy, Sagittarius can rule, like, foreign energies, right? People that are different than us, people that are older, younger, different races, different cultures. So somebody might be incorporating different cultures into what it is they're trying to do here. Let's just clarify what else you're doing as the Emperor. What else are you doing as the Emperor here, Aries? Okay, yeah, confidence. So I feel like you're building something up. You're fine. I feel like, too, if you're worried about whether or not you've reached a certain pinnacle or a certain goal, you've done really well for yourself. You're fine. You know, I wouldn't overthink it. Let's see what 10, 10, 10 is symbolizing for us, because that's typically like the ending and a beginning. So let's see what 10, 10, 10 is. Let's see. Okay, what are they ignoring here? Okay, love. Okay, what is somebody doing instead in the Chariot? Yeah, innovation. That's what I was. So somebody is still creating their own way here, they're not, I feel like, too, for some reason, there has something to do with, like, having sympathy. It's almost like, out of sympathy, I'm going to listen to what somebody else is doing. And I hope that it's hard to make that make sense. It's like, okay, out of sympathy, I'm going to take their advice, or like, okay, let me see what so-and-so is thinking, or let me see how their system works. But you can do this system on your own here. What is the Chariot able to create for themselves? Yeah, courage. Yeah. So I feel like, okay, what are people normally focused on here with determination that makes this slightly different? And then we'll see what other energy you need to be in. Okay, passion. Transition in self-love. What does this person have the courage to do? Okay, got love, potential, and inspiration. Okay. Interesting. So this person is like, okay, I'm going to see what this has potential to grow into, and then they take that information and move forward on their own. I'm getting a lot of solo energy from this individual. Because see, the love part is the community that they're learning from. They go out into the public, or they go out and network. So if you're wondering, the difference is that they network. Like just to give you an example, right? I use multiple platforms because different people like different platforms. That's why I use multiple. Right? So it's like this puts me out in front of more people or different people. That's love, because you are talking to other people and immersing yourself with other people. I feel like the difference here, these people, they actually do something so that they can be alone. It's almost like typically in this business, because, and I'm saying business because I pulled ambition, but typically in this business or in this industry, people are focused on a way to be isolated with self-love. This person still incorporates things of other people, and that's how that works out for them. They may learn better by bouncing ideas off of other people or communicating in, like, they have it's a lot in this reading with the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. All right, so what other energy should you be in with Angel? Welcome, y'all. Yeah, ambition. You're still working. All right. You got 8, skill, and emotions. All right, what's the outcome here for you? What's the outcome here for you, Aries? And then we're going to do Taurus next, y'all. Yeah, rebellion. All right, so that's it. Don't feel like you're doing something that's like out of the ordinary if it works for you. All right. If y'all are just now joining, we're going in order of the zodiac, guys. We did Aries. We're going to do Taurus next. These are general. All right. I know a lot of people ask about personal questions. The best way to get the info for personal questions, if you catch me during a live, you can do a $5 Cash App question. If you don't want to do that, you can subscribe to my WAP for readings. Okay, you can do a $22 reading. It is linked in my TikTok. That's the only way you can get readings personally. Otherwise, these are general, and we just go in order of the zodiac. If you're watching on TikTok or Kick, this will be saved on my YouTube, and it will be timestamped. You'll be able to click to the timestamp. Thank you, VK. I appreciate that. Thank you for the rose. Miguelina, I hope I said that right. I hope I said that right. Taurus is next. Shout out to the Tauruses out there if there's any in the chats. We are going in order, y'all. Again, please don't get scammed, TikTok family. Ooh, that's my butterfly pea leaves. Okay, get y'all some tea today, you know. All right. Taurus is up next. These are general, guys, so take it as you see fit. As I continue to build, we'll go back to when I was doing like love and money and all that good stuff. But I did want to kind of get my bearings back together doing general since I took a break. All right, so what is this scenario? What's the scenario for my Tauruses? Let's see. Scenario for the Tauruses. All right, sexuality. This could be making a decision, of course. Because this is my Gemini card, but this could be like masculine and feminine, partnering up, somebody that you're dating, attracted to, things like that. All right, what role do you play here, Taurus? Hi there. Okay, order. So I think a couple of days ago I pulled order for you. You guys were organizing something, planning it. You're in charge of something. All right, you're making sure things go according to plan. So while you're doing this, and this could be anything, maybe you're cleaning, organizing your home, planning a party, planning an event, maybe budgeting, getting things together, for the house, things like that. All right, what is the most important energy for you to be in while doing this, Taurus? Ooh. Hold on, let's see. What's the most important energy for you to be in, Taurus is? Okay, luck. Okay, so while you're organizing something, consider the time. All right, so don't run out of time here. I'm also getting any natural resources, like any resources that you have on hand already. Like use those resources, but I feel like you really need to consider your time here. Also, what else is your luck here? Use this opportunity. What is your opportunity? And we're going to see what you need to use it to do. All right, what is it? What are you using this to do here? All right, I feel like too, it's good that you have, for you, if your opportunity is connectivity, I feel like there's a partner that you're able to work with here. But in the midst of that, make sure that you consider the other person's time when doing this. All right, so consider how long something takes. You need to consider like the time of day, maybe consider the weather. But I'm also getting like you just happen to be connected directly to somebody else, and that's allowing you to save money and resources. All right, so let's get some tarot here. That's just general. Okay, the Ten of Wands. Yeah, it's like somebody's doing all the work here, and then they may hand it off to another individual. So if you're in a scenario where somebody else has done all the work, or you're carrying the heavy load and you're passing on, it's time for you to use like the benefit of a partner here. Okay, you got Justice, the Four of Swords. Yeah, it's like one person is carrying the heavy load. That's why this other individual doesn't have to worry here. All right, somebody else can kind of rest while another person is taking on the load. Okay, here's the Two of Cups. There's a partnership. Four of Pentacles, a Temperance, and then the Hierophant. There you go right there. You're typically the Hierophant here. All right, so I'm a Sag. I'm literally telling you right now. Maybe you might not realize that it's like one person's carrying the burden and another person isn't. So just think about that. But we're going to see what the cause and effect is here with the Justice card. You could be dealing with a Libra or a Sagittarius. All right, so what is the cause here? Interesting. Self-esteem. I wasn't even expecting that. Okay, there's your card again. Respect, ambition, and pride. Okay, so self-esteem. Somebody feels left out. Okay, or they feel a little insecure. What's triggering self-esteem here? Okay, so somebody, first of all, somebody has to break a cycle that they keep repeating in this scenario. They know that they need to fix something. What's the like repetitive cycle that somebody keeps repeating? And then we'll see what the cause of that is with Justice. Oh, guidance. So in this case, somebody keeps listening to other people or taking other people's advice when they shouldn't be. I feel like somebody is advised to like take the heavy load or whatever they're advised to do. It makes somebody really like weighed down. What is this person guided by? And then we'll see what they're being guided to do, because they know they shouldn't be listening to that. Okay, what are they guided to do here? So somebody ignores their intuition repetitively. They know that. All right, so they're being guided to be intentional with what they're doing. All right, so they're like, okay, I'm going to be more intentional here. What else is somebody's intuition telling them? But I feel like somebody does it, they ignore it, because it's like a toxic trait here. I feel like too, their intuition's telling them, okay, wait, I'm making this difficult. Yeah, the 10 of Wands. Somebody knows that they're doing something in a difficult light. Their intuition is literally telling them, like, hey, like, you don't have to do this the hard way. There's an easy way to do this. So somebody's trying to get over that. They're trying to heal that pattern. I feel like there's a scenario, this could be within yourself, Taurus. Like, there's a scenario where somebody keeps doing something the difficult way. And that's why it causes like another energy to not have to do any work at all. All right, so what's the cause over here? I feel like somebody does realize this though, so looks like it's getting, you know, fixed. But what is this cause here? Yeah, there's sexuality and fight. Yeah, so it's like it starts to cause a distraction here between two things that should be working very well together. Like somebody's intuition should really work well with their guidance, but they ignore it because they listen to other people. All right, they know that that's something that they have to heal and work on. All right, let's see. What else are you doing in the Hierophant here, Taurus? And then we'll see the outcome for you. Okay, versatility. What are you able to create for yourself? All right, you got defiance. And then you have self-love. So what is typically the rule here? Or the norm? Okay, angel. So you're not going to listen to a Sagittarius. Or you're not going to do what the Aries is doing. Aries, oh, let me slow down. Aries' advice was angel, so to have patience or things like that, right? You're not going to listen to a Sagittarius, or you're going to go against them completely, or you're either going to go against a Sagittarius or an Aries, or you're not going to have patience. You're not going to be patient. You're going to completely go against that rule or that person. All right, what are you going to do instead here for yourself? So you're like, no, I'm not going to wait or something like that. Okay, resistance. What are you resisting? Defiance. And voice and truth. It's like you don't want to admit that you're going against it, but you already are. It's almost like, okay, either Aries is going to tell you, hey, like, let me teach you this. Let me show you this. Have patience. You're like, no, I don't want to have any patience. But in the same breath, you're going against that. All right. Well, what's the outcome for you, Taurus? What's the outcome for you, Taurus? You hate, I feel like you hate a Sagittarius or something like that. Okay, so you have transition, so it is time to move on, but what's your starting point? We know we have defiance, but what's your starting point here? Yeah, luck. Okay, transitioning to what? You're leaving behind an opportunity? So you don't want the way something is going. You don't want this opportunity, even though that, like, literally, this is me giving you the reading. I'm telling you now, like, the advice that you should consider is luck. What is your luck is like your connections, the people that you're already connected to, or considering the time involved in something. Consider what you already have. You're like, no, I don't want that opportunity. I don't want to consider the time. I don't want to consider this connection, even though it's like a resource for what you're trying to plan or organize. Okay, what do you want to dominate? So now you're like, okay, I'm going to dominate or control this. Okay. So you want to control strength and fluidity. You want to control the way something is going. Wait, what? You might want to control a Leo, or you want to control... I'm also getting two with luck. This is like an opportunity. It's if it comes back around, it's not going to come back around the same way again. You want something to continue or be infinite. All right, that's up to you. Oh, it says Buki. Hi. I had to make sure it didn't say nothing crazy. Hey, welcome. I can't see that far. I need my glasses. All right, let's see. What are you leaving behind here, Taurus? You don't want to take this opportunity. All right, what are you transitioning to? You're like, no, I don't want to pay attention to the time, or I don't want that opportunity, or I don't want this connection, or something like that. All right, what are you transitioning to with dominance? Yeah, the Seven of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and then the Page of Cups. I feel like you are trying to control how something goes, but I feel like that's the element that's missing. What might be missing with the Seven of Swords coming out from the plan or from what you're trying to do here? Let's just make sure. Yeah. You're ignoring, like, you don't want to have patience. You're like, no, I don't want to have patience. I don't care about how long something takes. I don't care about partnering up. All right. I mean, that's, yeah. Okay. What's the outcome for you, Taurus? That's for you. Yeah, you got the strength, courage, and mystery. All right. So it looks like something's going to be hidden. You may need more information here in a scenario before moving forward. You want to control a Leo? If there's a Leo involved, I feel like somebody's like, no, I want to control the way that that's going. Okay. All right, that looks like that's going to get messy. I'm going to go ahead and y'all do what y'all want to do. I don't know what that is. All right, Gemini is next. Let's do Gemini next. I be laughing sometimes because I be knowing what it is. Hi, Queen of Wands. Welcome. I be laughing because I be knowing people's signs in my own life. So, but I be having to keep it general for the public. I got to keep it general for the public. All right, Geminis. If you're on TikTok, this is going to be up on my YouTube timestamp. So, and on Kick. Don't get scammed, my TikTokers, please. Do not get scammed. It's my only page. I'm not going to DM you for no readings or anything like that. All right, so what's the scenario surrounding the Geminis? What's going on with the Geminis here? Oh, rebellion. Okay, so the same card as Aries. Let me write that down because I like to see which ones have the same cards. All right, so rebellion, doing something against the grain here. All right, what role do you play here, Geminis, in your own reading? Let's see. Okay, change. So you are the catalyst to a change here, okay? Or you're changing something within yourself. All right, what was the scenario before? Change again. Okay, y'all saw me shuffle. So something was already changing, so I'm assuming you want to keep something the same, but let's see what else you change it into. It could have also been something dealing with a Scorpio. Scorpios rule change. All right, what did you want to change this into? Something was changing. Okay, yeah, mood. You're like, no, we're not going to change that. So instead of something changing, something's going to remain stagnant. Let me write that down. So something's going to remain stagnant instead of changing. Okay. What other energy should you be in here, Geminis? Okay, self-love. All right. So what would make you more comfortable here? What do you need to make sure it makes you feel comfortable or do for yourself? Okay, defiance. So when you get defiance, this is like, do not listen to something. You need to go against it. What are you normally being told to do? You're going to probably have to stand up for yourself. Okay, finesse. Somebody's like, yeah, plan ahead, or you need to be a little sneakier with this, or plan ahead, or You're like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, what are you going to do instead? So don't try to take a shortcut here. Okay, angel is coming out a lot. So the advice for Aries was to be angel. So maybe you're dealing with an Aries. All right. If this is literally, if you're being told to be like shady or sneaky, you're like, no, I'm just going to be honest. I'll help them, or I'll be honest about this. I don't need to be sneaky, shady, whatever. If this is like people, you may actually work with a Sag. Sag is your opposite energy. All right, so that's your polarity. You may work well with a Sagittarius, or you're like, no, I'm not gonna sneak or copy or cheat them. I'm gonna actually teach or help or be of assistance. That is what will make you more comfortable. All right, let's get the cards. Let's see. Also, again, angel can be temperance as in patience. So somebody may be telling you, no, do it the quick way, do it the fast way, take a shortcut. I feel like in this case, a form of self-love will be for you to have patience or do something in a long way. All right, like take your time. All right, let's see. Now, remember, in the Taurus reading, they said they're not doing this. They don't want to do this. They don't want to have any patience. They're not doing that. All right, let's get 8 cards. Let's see. You said, should you apply for that job tomorrow? You might as well. You know, what's the worst that can happen? You already don't have the job, so can't get no different than that. All right, so the 7 of Pentacles. Page of Wands, of Judgment. Okay, so somebody is making a judgment call. They are saying so. I feel like somebody is saying something from experience. All right, looks like somebody has looked at something over and over again, and they're going to say this from experience here. Okay, we got the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, 3 of Cups, and then the 9 of Cups. All right, a lot of cups. A lot of emotions. All right. If you were about, because the center of your reading, Gemini, was you want to change something. You were already going to change it, but you're going to allow it to remain stagnant. If you were going to make some changes, I feel like you should. Self-love is a lot different than the mood card. What's being said right here with the Page of Wands? Okay, hustle. All right, so they're talking about an opportunity to get money or what makes money or you're abundant, things like that. They could be even saying like, hey, like, let's network. What is this person noticing? They're reviewing something and they notice what? It's like they're observing it. Okay, power. So somebody may be like, okay, I looked at all these opportunities where I made money or all these moments that made me money or something like that. What is this person's power? Because then they go and they share it or they're speaking it out loud. So what is their power here? It's like somebody looks at all the times that something worked. Okay, emotions, passion, and then strength again. Leo is always coming out everywhere. Okay, so I feel like somebody's looking at how they needed to control their emotions. This is what you need. That's why you have self-love. So I feel like in order to help control your emotions, you have to work on your patience. So there's a scenario where you're taught that something is supposed to be quick or something is supposed to be a shortcut. But in this case, in order to control your emotions better, you need to go into something remembering that it will take time. All right. So if it's not about that, I'm also getting there's like a norm where, okay, normally we just take advantage of people like this, but you're like, no, you're doing that out of emotion. There's no need for me to take advantage. I'll just be calm, patient, and teach them how to do something, basically. All right, so what's the result of what this person's saying here? We got the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, mystery. What was mystery? What's hidden? Okay, determination. What somebody is focused on in knowledge. So somebody's hiding what they studied, but you can see it. Or, I mean, they're telling you what they studied. They're like, yeah, I studied on this. I focused on what I knew. I paid attention. I feel like, too, there is an element of somebody knowing better and not doing better because their emotions got the best of them or their emotions triggered them. All right, so focus on what somebody has learned or what they're teaching here. What's your energy in these 8 cards, Gemini? Okay, courage. All right, so that's not bad. You got courage, transition, you got spirituality and peace. All right, so I feel like there's like a mental, something mental going on here where you're going to calm yourself down. Because I'm not sure why you were going to, what were you going to change for yourself? It's like you were going to change something and then you just gave up on that, or something like that. Let's see, what were you going to change here? Okay, confidence, and what are you going to change it into? Let's see. But have patience. Yeah, self-love, and this is your advice. It could be something with confidence, would be like, just because of the way it's depicted, maybe there's something you're spending a lot of money on, or maybe you're showcasing your money. Now, like we said, if we're talking about shortcuts, maybe you're like, no, I want fast money. But in this case, something is actually, it just would benefit you to take your time with it. Maybe take your time studying it. Maybe you have to learn something first and not just jump right into it, because there's a notion that something is it's a shortcut, or like you can just copy something. If it is like, okay, hey, just copy this, you're like, well, let me be self-taught. Let me study something for myself, do the research for myself. All right, Geminis. What's the outcome for the Geminis here? Okay, you got love, intuition, and attitude. All right, perspective. What else is our intuition telling us about perspective here? What perspective to have? So we do have intuition. Yeah, power. The perspective is that you need to go back and look at all the times that you were able to do something independently, or that you were able to make something work. What's a good example of this? Like if this is about like making money or something, like if there was a side hustle, say you did something and you every time you posted a certain video about this, that, and the third, it went viral. So you're like, okay, bet I'm going to make, TikToks like that. Or every time you made this cake, everybody loved this cake decoration. That cake made me the most money, but it takes a long time. Okay, well, I'll stick to that style because my customers like that. So it's something like that. That's just a metaphor. Everybody's not doing the same thing, but that's just a metaphor. So y'all take that as you see fit. Let me write this down. All right, Cancer. Cancer is up next. Happy birthday to the Cancers. Shout out to all the Cancers. If you're new here, we go in order the zodiac. What's the timestamp? This is going to be up on YouTube, timestamped as well, y'all. So if you want to check it out later, feel free. Okay. No, we're going in order the zodiac. So we just did Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. And then we're going to do Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And if you're new here, we go backwards on the next day. So like if you have a late sign, you'll be first tomorrow. All right, so we'll start with Pisces tomorrow, just to throw that out there. And it is going to be up on YouTube. All right, Cancers. What's the scenario surrounding Cancers? Okay, respect. So this looks like, since I pulled rebellion and respect, I'm getting like an energy where it's like either following the rules or not. That looks like this is the center of the reading here. All right, so we got rules, regulations, standards, boundaries with the respect card. Again, this is my Taurus card. You could be dealing with a Taurus. All right. Okay. Before I continue this, what's the standard here with respect, or what do we have respect for? Loyalty to, things like that. Okay, strength. So this is literally like a reoccurring tradition. All right, so we have respect for something that's reoccurring. This could be a Taurus Leo combination, or we literally have respect for a Leo, or we have loyalty to a Leo, but something is like a repetitive tradition. We always follow this rule. This is what we do. Something has to repetitively occur. All right. There could also be like literally a standard of strength, like something, I don't know why I'm randomly thinking this, but like something is of stronger quality. So we want to stick to that standard of quality or something like that. All right, what role do you play here, Cancers? What role do you play here, Cancers? Jesus Christ loves me? I'm sure he does. If I can make up a character, I would say he loves me too. All right, what role do you play here, Cancers? Okay, oh, so you're rebellion. Okay, you did come out in the Aries reading. So the Chariot came out in the Aries reading with rebellion. So the rule is here. You're just kind of finding a little loophole to it. So the rule is like either you're supposed to be loyal to a Leo and you're finding a loophole to that. Like you're like, okay, bet, this is Leo's rules. I'm going to follow this rule, but I'm going to do it a little differently. Or like if something is a repetitive tradition or a repetitive standard, you understand that that rule is there. All right, so what do you do that's slightly different here, Cancers? Okay, yeah, innovation. You're the one in the Aries reading. So you are able to make something work. You're doing something different. I want to write that down really quick. So you guys might want to watch the Aries reading because I feel like you're like maybe an example for them or something like that. All right, so let's see. So and we'll see what you're able to create. All right, so what are you able to create here, Cancers? Let's see. Hey there, welcome. MWAS, you know you're helping my algorithm, right? You know that's why I'm letting you type or send your message because you're going to bring more people to my live. Hi, welcome, Daniela. All right, so what are you able to create here, Cancers? Resistance. Okay, resisting what? So we got strength versus resistance. So I feel like if the rule is like to never do something, you find a way to do it a little bit. Like this would be the energy of like, okay, my rule is never to drink alcohol, but you're like, okay, I'm only going to drink alcohol on the weekends or something like that. So let's see, what are you able to resist here? It's like you're not going to stop doing something completely or not do it at all, but you're able to resist it when you need to. Yeah, emotions. Yeah, so you're like, okay, I feel like too, if this is about emotional like reactions, Cancers are known to be emotional. We know that. That's the basic, basic zodiac stuff, but you don't always have to pretend to be so strong or you don't always have to pretend like things don't bother you, but you're not going to have an emotional outburst, right? So you may get triggered, but you're not going to have like an emotional outburst. What other energy should you be in here, Cancers? Or you know how to like kind of transmute that energy. What other energy should you be in to help you out? Let's see. Okay, yeah, connectivity. Continue to keep that same mindset. I wouldn't change it. Okay, you got connectivity and hustle. So the more you're able to resist your emotions, that's going to be directly connected to abundance here. You're going to be able to have more opportunities. You'll be able to work better with people because emotions and business don't really go well together. Like if you have to partner up with somebody, you're going to have to control your emotions. But like any job that you do, anything that you do for a living, you have to control an emotional outburst. All right, so that's going to be directly connected to you getting more opportunities or more money here. Okay, let's see. So that could be why you came out in the Aries reading. Aries may need to know that. I don't know if Aries is still watching, but I'll put it. Let me write a disclaimer for them. Watch Cancer. Watch the Cancer reading. Okay, let's get 8 cards here. Happy birthday to the Cancers again. These are general, y'all. If you're asking questions, they're general. All right, so 8 cards for the Cancers. All right. Yeah, the 10 of Wands came out first in... Oh, no, that came out first in the Taurus reading. These are the same, yeah. Okay, so the 10 of Wands, King of Swords, 9 of Wands, 6 of Cups. Literally, yeah, resisting, feeling insecure or offended. And then here's your opportunity, the Wheel of Fortune. That's exactly what I'm seeing. Resisting, feeling offended. Because you do. You feel it. With the 9 of Wands, you're annoyed. It's like, okay, why are you doing that? But you know how to keep something professional. Like, you're still focused on your opportunity. You're like, okay, wait, I got to focus on this. Okay, let's see. All right, and you got the 5 of Swords and then the Lovers. Let's clarify. Let's see. So, what might trigger your emotions here, Cancers? Okay, humor and attitude. Maybe this could be a scenario where like it's like other people are able to enjoy something, you're not able to enjoy it yet. That's interesting. Maybe somebody thinks something is funny and that's not funny to you. So maybe something's like low-key insulting. What would be ironic or humorous? Okay, dominance and superstition and courage. Okay. All right. So I feel like you're trying to control your worries, your nervousness, your anxiety. Anxiety is not always like a sign that something's going to go bad. Sometimes we're overthinking things. So I feel like that's what's going on, but we're going to clarify that as well. So what else is your energy down in these 8 cards here? Okay, yeah, healing. So I feel like you realize that that's a repetitive cycle if it's resistance and emotions. I feel like, too, you're going to have a weird way of doing this. So what helps you resist emotional outbursts here so that you can keep your eyes kind of on the prize here? What helps you to do that, Cancer? So something's going to help you to do that. All right, it could be literally a Libra, or it could be like you're employing some sort of logic. Okay, it could literally be a Libra. We got, okay, and then self-esteem. So something is like not allowing you to be offended, literally. It could, if it's a Libra, they're like, no, don't get offended. Don't get offended. Don't feel left out. Stop thinking about that. Don't worry about that. Don't feel left out or something like that. I'm also getting too, you could know other people. You're realizing like, okay, other people get emotionally triggered too at work. Like everybody can go through that. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter what you do for a living, what business you have, what job you have. Every single day your emotions are going to get triggered. You're only human. So you're like, okay, clearly I know that that's going to occur regardless. That's going to happen regardless. So I have to be logical and things like that. What do you have the opportunity to do here with the Wheel of Fortune, Cancers? Okay, yeah, you got passion, dominance, and vision. So don't allow like an impulse to have control over the vision that you have for yourself and the outcome. I feel like you're very focused on like, okay, I'm trying to save up for this. Like say it could be something like you're saving up for something and you're like, okay, I'm not going to go date, or I'm not going to go, like I'm bored right now. That's a feeling, right? But you're like, I don't want to go out and spend money because I'm going to save for this, and this. I have this financial goal to reach. So it's something like that. All right. What other energy should you be in here, Cancers? All right, so you have defiance as well. What's the normal rule here with defiance? I see the 5 of Swords. Yeah, okay. Oh, so there's the rule. I don't think if you have loyalty to a Leo, I don't think you should. Or if you have, I'm also getting two, if there's like a standard, like, okay, not being emotional means you're strong. That's not the case. Everybody has emotions. I feel like the stronger element is allowing yourself to feel those emotions, but still being able to control it. It doesn't mean that you can't ever feel anything, but yeah, so I wouldn't follow this rule at all. What are you going to do that's different with respect here? If there's a person, you're not supposed to listen to a Taurus. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Leadership. Yeah. So you're not going to follow somebody else's lead here. You're going to initiate. You're going to be the first to do something. You're going to do it differently. Yeah. Leadership, power, personality, and order. I feel like, too, you know yourself. So you're going to be able to kind of move the way that you need to move, right? Like you're going to work. You're like, okay, I hate my manager, right? You know that. So as soon as you know that, it shouldn't have any further control over your finances. You're going to have to ignore that person, get what you need to get, do what you need to do, etc. All right, so that's pretty much it. Maybe other people have loyalty to a Leo or something like that as well. All right. All right, we're gonna do Leo is next actually. It's almost time for the Leos. Hi, these are general guys. If y'all are just now joining, if you're new to watching me, I'm on a lot of platforms. So real quick, there's a little intermission. If you already heard me say this 50, 11 times, I'm sorry, but I gotta let new people know. But we're on YouTube, Kick, TikTok, and WAP. Yes. Uh-huh. Yes. All right, so we're on YouTube, Kick, TikTok, and WAP. If you're on TikTok, on YouTube, these readings will be time stamped. We're currently going in the order of the zodiac, and then the next time I will go backwards. I always alternate. We go back and forth so that the late signs can get information early too. If you do catch me live, feel free. You can do a $5 Cash App question. That's what we used to do back when I had my first platform, so we'll be redoing that again. My name is the same on all of my stuff, guys. It is EeshUrHeartOut. There's no numbers, no underscores, no none of that. I will never reach out to you, especially my TikTok people. I will never reach out to you guys and DM you asking you for any readings. I will never do that. There are going to be more fake pages of me as the channel grows because there were 20 pages of me the last time and somebody did get scammed. So do not answer any fake DMs. I will not reach out to you saying that I'm going to do any spell work on you, anything like that. I don't do any of that for people. So yeah. But now we're going to do Leo. Leo is next. I'm going to timestamp this. Again, this will be up on my YouTube timestamp. So if you miss your sign or even if you want to go watch it right now, it's up there. Just go rewind. Is on there now. And I believe Kick saves videos too for my Kick watchers. So it does save videos too, but those are just not timestamped. All right, Leos. Let's see. Almost Leo season. Where we at? We in the 13th. Y'all got like one more week. Almost Leo season. All right, what's the scenario surrounding my Leos? Okay, dominance. All right, so we're going to talk about the dominant energy. Whenever I pull this card, that means something has, it's more dominant than the other people, energy, situation. So what is the dominant energy here? What's the dominant energy? Okay, resistance. Maybe we were talking about a Cancer. All right, so we did mention that Cancer is able to maintain their emotions here. They're not going to have an emotional outburst. All right, so resistance. We're able to resist what? What are we able to resist? Okay, inspiration. And then what does that have control over? What does that have dominance over? Okay, sexuality. All right, so I feel like this is literally like resisting temptation. If we're talking about something sexual, literally, somebody's able to resist temptation so they don't, that kind of has dominance over somebody being attractive or making some sort of like lustful decision or some sort of impulsive decision. If you're taking sex out of it, literally whatever inspires somebody, that allows them to not go ahead and make an impulsive decision. That's basically what it is. Whatever they're, and inspiration could be anything, right? Like you see something, it makes you angry. that can inspire you to get angry. It's that simple. Or to act out, or to do something, you know, upsetting, or inspire you to get back, or, you know, something like that. Or, ooh, I see this pretty, this cute purse, that can inspire you to go spend money that you're not supposed to spend yet. So whatever this is, if you're able to resist that energy, you're going to make a better decision. Now, if these are people, there's if these are people, just because people deal with different signs. Inspiration is my Aquarius card. If somebody's able to resist an Aquarius, that has more control over something dealing with a Gemini. And if we're talking about the energies associated with that sign, right? Aquarius is like forward thinking. Somebody's like, okay, I'm going to think more about the now, right? They're thinking more about in the present, or something like that. All right. Or when they make a decision based off of what something is in the moment, and not what it has a potential to become. Okay. All right. So that's the scenario there. All right. Let's see. What role do you play here, Leos? What role do you play in your reading, Leos? If you're wondering why I'm laughing, I be cracking up at like trolls and stuff, y'all. I'm so sorry. If I randomly laugh, it's because I'm literally laughing at somebody's message. All right, so your respect. All right, so you guys did come out in a Cancer reading where there was like rules or regulations. So you're setting a rule or regulation or a standard here. Okay. I feel like in this scenario, I'm getting that you are the one setting that standard or creating that rule. But what is the rule here? Or you just may have respect for a rule here. But what's the rule that we're setting? Okay, you got rebellion, order, and an intuition. That doesn't make sense. So somebody would rather break a rule than follow their instincts, or you would rather, if these are people, you would rather the rebellious energy come before somebody that's actually following their intuition and their instincts? What? This is almost like, say somebody was at, like, I'm just going to use work as an example again, but it's like, say somebody's at work, you would rather the person who's not doing something correctly to come before the person who's actually doing the correct thing. If this is within yourself, you would rather like break rules and regulations before anything. Like, you're just like, no, my standard is I want to break rules. I want to go against the grain without thinking first. This is Leo? Okay, that's odd. Let's see. Yes, Monica, you should. So what is our instincts telling us in a scenario here? That's odd. Okay, what is our instincts telling us here? Okay, we got innovation and fluidity. Superstition and dominance. So, okay, so our intuition is telling us that something's going to be manipulated. So then now our worries have more control. We end up having more anxiety, and that controls us being ourselves, right? So your intuition would tell you that something is manipulated to make you feel worried. And then that worried and that anxiety is going to have full control over who you are as a person. You would instinctually know that. All right, let's get the tarot. That's odd. Okay, but you would rather rebel? Okay. I don't know. Let's see. Thanks for following. Let's see. Let's get 8 cards. Okay, 9 of Pentacles, a Judgment. Okay, so literally focusing on something, but that outweighs the 8 of Pentacles. All right, so the 9 of Pentacles outweighs the 8 of Pentacles. This would be an energy where it's already set in stone. So I feel like if you have something built up already that you can build upon, you don't need to start over. Don't go start something new. continue to build upon that, that would outweigh like rebuilding something. There's something that we clearly can see this outweighs rebuilding or working on this or building this up. We know that this works already because we've already been through the Eight of Pentacles. We've already worked on that. Okay. We've already worked on that before. So the cards are the Nine of Pentacles, Judgment, Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, Knight of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Hermit. So there could be something dealing with Virgo energy, but literally we're going to realize that something's already built up, that's already stable. What do we have already built in the Nine of Pentacles? And I'm going to see what's being said in the Judgment. What do we already have here? Thank you for the gift. I appreciate you. Let's see. So what do we already have here in the Nine of Pentacles? Confidence. Yeah, I always get these cards matched up. So those of you that want to read your own tarot, this is just the way I read it. When I use the hip hop and the Rider-Waite tarot, I have cards that I know from practice match up. Like it just matches. But yeah. So yeah, literal confidence, having your own resources. But this is like something you've already built up. Like, okay, I already have a vehicle, so I can go do a job that requires me to drive. I have a working vehicle. That's my resource. Okay, I already have this food in the house. I can cook something from this food instead of ordering out. I already have this resource. I can, like when I did my hair, I already had braiding hair. I didn't have to go buy more hair. Or it's like something that's already there for you. It's already established. It's stable. Okay. So what's the Judgment? That is what outweighs the rest of this. But we're going to see. What's the Judgment here? It could be literal confidence in oneself. Okay. Yeah, transition and skill. Yeah, truth. Do not change what you're already skilled at. Don't. You're going to see. If you've already done this, you may already see the truth about this. You don't need to change your skill set, or you don't need to go switch up. It also makes something imbalanced. But I feel like I'm going to hold this up because this is real, like, even if you don't read cards, it's very, like, normal. All right, so it's very, like, straight to the point. Like, literally, the Nine of Pentacles outweighs the Eight of Pentacles. Why? What do we... 9 is more than 8. Something's kind of like common sense, or... So don't transition and go do something else. I feel like, too, you already knew how to do something, or you already built it up. Okay. So what are you trying to build up, or what's trying to be built up on the Eight of Pentacles here? I don't think you need to restart. Ooh, our phone cases got here. Yeah, determination, and there's emotions again. Yeah, vision and ambition. You're going to see a pattern here as well. You're going to see a pattern between literally like working and being happy or happiness, or working and having overindulgences. You're going to be able to see the relationship between that. Hold on one second, y'all, because I want to get my package, because people be doing stuff to your stuff. Hold on, because it's delivered. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, yeah. So there's a connection between your career and what you're trying to work on. If there's something that you've already built up, I wouldn't change what you're building up here. I got my phone case, y'all. Let me just make sure it's in here. I don't be playing around. Okay, cute. All right. So you're going to directly see a connection between that. Do not change what you're working on. What might make you change your mind or transition away from what you've been working on? Passion. Yeah, so that's the center. So you're going to get like inspired to do something. Do not don't change, don't switch up. Like, say you have a goal that you're working on right now and it's already being built up. Don't switch up from that. Like, for me, I always think about how I should have just kept my channel going because I knew I was going to come back and want to do it. So it's like I should have just kept the channel going. But don't just, because it's like a knee-jerk reaction or something like that. Now, if this is literal like passion and sexuality, guys, do not abandon something that you built up or worked for yourself and just go have sex, like literally, because you have passion, sexuality, and inspiration. If you're in a are you, like, this is not a good time to just start. I wouldn't end up in like a situationship or anything like that because it might derail you from something that you're working on. But it's like you're, because don't, let's not forget the standard that you're doing. Like, you're putting rebellion literally before your own intuition. Maybe somebody else tried to give you advice and you're not listening to that, but let's see what rebellion is. So what would you be doing that's rebellious? I feel like it's like sexual. Like, maybe you're on some shit like, okay, I want to be sexually liberated. That's fine. But this looks like an energy where it's like getting you derailed from what you're working on almost. Or like you're putting your career to the side, or like you're not studying because you want to go out and party, or like it's something like that. Like you're losing the focus a little bit. But let's see. So what are you doing that's rebellious? This is Leo. Or like if you're working on something and you see another good idea, don't switch from what you're working on right now. If you take like dating and sex out of it and you see like a really, really good idea, do not switch from what you're doing right now, okay? But what do you want to do that's rebellious? Let's see. You got courage, mystery, yeah, emotion. Something, what should you be doing? What else is your intuition telling you to do here? Because I think you need to get like you need to calm down first before, don't make an impulsive decision. Yeah, you got voice, hustle, and connectivity and resistance. You need to, yeah, you need, yeah, and inspiration. So somebody must have told you this then. Somebody's like, now for some people, maybe it is an Aquarius, or maybe it's like, okay, it's okay for you to be isolated for a while. You don't need to be around a group of people, or you don't need to go out, or there's a direct connection between getting like more money and resisting like temptations. And it could be anything, literally. I mean, it could be as simple as like, okay, I'm inspired to go drink today, or I'm inspired to go smoke today, or you could just save the money. So what's inspiring you? What's provoking you? Where is this coming from? Yeah, it's like you don't want to follow that instinct. I feel like somebody gave you this advice. Now, if there's a single woman out there and you already had your own resources or something, you're like going and wasting it in a relationship. You're giving somebody else your money, or like something's costing you more because you don't want to listen. Like literally your standard for yourself is rebellion. You're like, no, I'm not going to listen to that. It's like, it would be like, I don't know. It's almost like you don't listen to anybody or anything. You just want to go do whatever you want to do, I guess, which is fine. But it's like, it's setting you back. So I'm going to write this down real quick. All right, Virgos. Hopefully that's not, well, the Leos I meant to say, but hopefully that's not like don't get deterred from your goals for sex, like literally, because I feel like that's that's what it looks like. Um, or for a partner or something. Virgo is up next. Hi there, on Kick. Welcome. All right, y'all. When we start getting the spammers on TikTok, that means we're growing. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna use the restroom really quick because we've been on here for a little while, for an hour. Hopefully, the TikTok puzzle didn't show up yet. Hopefully it doesn't show up while I'm gone. Now that might end the TikTok, but all right, hold on, y'all. I'm back. Hi there. I'm back, y'all. We're on Virgo. Oh, person on Kick, my name is Aisha. Sorry, I just saw that. Hopefully they're still there. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah, pink lip gloss is my fave. Okay, Virgos. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's popping for the Virgos. All right, what is the scenario for my Virgos here? What's going on? Most important situation for the Virgos. Okay, personality. All right, so this is about putting yourself out there, networking, maybe doing anything online. We're in the age where you got to, whatever you do, you probably got to have a page or something. It doesn't matter what you do creatively. But personality, putting yourself out there, being yourself. All right, what part of personality here? This could be you or somebody else, but what part of personality? Okay, style. All right, so this could be literally, I feel like this is somebody's own personal style, the way they dress. Now, this is my Cancer card, and Cancer has been coming out as being like more innovative and doing their own thing. But yeah, this is how somebody dresses. They like to dress that way, be dressed up, makeup, their hair, things like that. Literally, they like to do things their own way. I feel like that is part of somebody's personality. There is intuition as confirmation. All right, but yeah, so this is how somebody likes to dress, things like that. Of course, if this is you, if you're wondering and you want to do like networking and stuff like that, I would make sure that you're presentable. Make sure you dress, accordingly. Or I feel like too, if you have your own way of dressing, you don't have to fit in. You have to wear what everybody else wears. Like, I feel like the best part about like looking good in your clothes is not always wearing like what's trendy, but like wearing something that actually fits your body shape. So that's like, I'm big on that. Like, I don't have I don't have no hips, so I'll wear, flare skirts and flared jeans and stuff like that. Or like, I wear my hair like this because I was born with a big old hairline. Like, my forehead go all the way back here, so I know that this is going to look good. It's going to frame my face, so it's my own style. So, you don't have to wear something trendy. You do something that fits you or how you look, things like that. All right. Or this could literally be about a Cancer. Okay. So it could just be a Cancer. All right. What role do you play here, Virgos? I need to drink some water. All this talking. All right. What role do you play here, Virgos? Okay. Respect. Same as Leo. So you and Leo were both in the same position. Let me write that. Virgo and Leo. All right, so you have a certain rule regulation for yourself that you're starting. You may just have respect for this person or something like that, but what rule or standard are you setting or following here, Virgos? Okay, resistance. Okay, so you're like, no, I have to resist this. That is my standard. Okay, so what are you resisting, Virgos? You're resisting mystery. Okay. So if you're wondering with personality, this person shows who they are. This like whenever you get personality, of course, the definition is also like to warn against like oversharing. But you may have respect for somebody because they don't hide themselves. That's how they act. That's how they dress. That's how they talk. That's them. If you have like, if you want to be around certain people, you're like, look, I don't deal with all that hiding and all that other stuff, or you got to share certain things with me, or you just have to be honest, things like that. You have to show who you are. Okay, so yeah, your rule is like you don't like mystery, you don't like something to be a secret out of respect or something like that. Okay, what's normally hidden? You're like, no, I'm not going to hide, blah, 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 but what's normally hidden here with mystery? Okay, we got potential and peace. Okay, looks like something about communication too, but I'll clarify that. What other energy should you be in, Virgos? Okay, yeah, voice. All right, so you need to say something. You need to speak up on something. Okay, what's important for you to speak up on here? Or what do you need to say? Again, if we're going back to the beginning of what I said with like nowadays we're on social media, so if there's something that you guys do, you need to put yourselves out there more. It just depends on what you do. Like, say somebody does hair, go live doing hair. Maybe you do people's nails, go ahead and do nails on live. Whatever you guys do, things like that, that could be what it is. Or you need to speak out about, maybe you have a product, you got to post it. Whatever platform works for you. My favorite platform is YouTube. That's just me. If you're wondering, my favorite platform to use is YouTube. But I do, I use multiple ones. All right, so what needs to be spoke? What do you need to say or speak up about, or what do you need to say here with voice? Okay, you got self-love and leadership. All right, yeah, I feel like this looks like something you came up with on your own. Like something that you created on your own or something like that. Yeah, causes resistance and guidance. So maybe you have to explain this to somebody. You're like, look, I feel comfortable initiating this. I made this on my own. That is what's going to get you to resist like listening to other people. All right, so if you have your own way of doing something, maybe you have to explain that to somebody, or, maybe like even with personality and style, maybe you make clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, like post it or something. I'm also getting to, you may have to instill this in someone. Like maybe you need to tell your child, like, Don't follow after other people. You know, don't listen to other people. Be your own leader. Be your own person. Do what you need to do. Things like that. Thank you for the rose. If you're just now joining, guys, these are general readings, so I'm not ignoring anybody. But if you're on TikTok, this will be up on YouTube and timestamp too. I'm getting hungry, y'all. Last time I had to eat some turkey bacon. All right, let's see. Let's get 8 cards real quick to clarify. Okay, Ace of Cups to Lovers, 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. So this looks more so like not talking. All right, the 4 of Pentacles. It's looking like you're looking at all the times you held back and didn't say something. The Tower, okay. I feel like you're going to have a realization about not speaking up. Let's see why. Okay, so what made you not want to talk before? Okay, courage. Maybe you were afraid to talk. Maybe you want to keep something to yourself. Yeah, see, we got courage, innovation, and then we have superstition, innovation. There's courage, and then there's worries. So what can you create when you're courageous? What are you able to create, or what are you able to create when you're not nervous? If there's children, I have to say this, if there's something about like your children, it's like if you're instilling worries in your child, that's how they're going to grow up. Or if you instill more courage in them to be themselves, self-love, do their own thing. Like if somebody has a child, a good thing to do is to allow them to like pick out their own clothes, pick out their own hair, you know, things like that. Allow them to start making little choices. Because believe it or not, that has a huge effect in adulthood. Like that's probably the main thing. I think a lot of people don't realize, like, as children, when you're forced to do things, you will not know how to make decisions as an adult. And I'm speaking from experience. You will not know what choices to make. I'm telling you right now. Like, people will not know what they enjoy, what they like, anything. You have to allow somebody to learn that. Like, if this is your kid, I would recommend you let them learn that on their own. But all right, so let's see. You have courage here. What are you looking back and realizing? It's like you look back at this and you realize something you don't want to speak. Okay, it's a Sagittarius. You're looking at this Sagittarius. All right, what about, well, let me slow down. Angel also came out as Aries. I think it came out as Aries and Gemini. Gemini had this card too, and this is Gemini right here. So it could be an Aries or a Gemini, but you're looking back at this scenario and you don't want to say anything, or you're looking back at when you didn't say something to them or something like that. All right, what else about this angel energy do you notice for yourself? All right, so you got finesse, respect, and truth. So they see the truth about trying to follow a rule. They're like, okay, my intention was to follow this rule, but that did not work. What's the truth about following this rule here? That's what they realize. I'm also getting to, let me slow down. Gemini's reading was about either they were going to copy someone, steal from somebody, take advantage of something, try to get a shortcut. But they were deciding out of self-love to be more patient, or to be a teacher, or to be, like, help people. So that's what Gemini was deciding to do. All right, so it could, just had to throw that out there. What is the truth about intending to follow this rule here? It's like somebody realizes that. Okay. You got peace, angel, and ambition again. All right, I'll pick it up. I don't know. We're going to... All right, so, but you didn't want to speak out on something. You're looking back at a Sagittarius. You're like, okay, I'm not going to speak on that, or I'm not going to talk, or I'm not going to say anything. All right, so you have the Tower. So what is the realization here for you? What did you expect, Virgo? Okay, confidence, the 9 of Pentacles. What actually occurs here? What's the outcome? I don't know if this is you or somebody else. So the outcome is connectivity. And then mood. All right. So now that could be, Oh, you're going to realize that something is directly connected. So I feel like either lack of communication or talking, that is directly connected to some sort of, like, either ignoring something, ignoring emotions, or regret. If you don't speak up, what is that connected to? It's like directly connected to another thing or something like that. Okay, so it's connected to self-esteem. So if this is you, like say this is a conversation, somebody could feel offended, left out, like why didn't Virgo speak to me? Or if this is you and you didn't speak up, you may feel left out or isolated. If you're able to speak up, or if somebody else is able to converse, speak out, what is that directly connected to here? Humor. Interesting. Okay, so that could be happiness, laughing, enjoying something. So when we're quiet and we're keeping to ourselves and not speaking up to ourselves, what makes us feel offended or triggers our self-esteem? I feel like too, it just makes you isolated. Yeah, you got rebellion again. It's like if I keep, because the center of this is personality and style, right? So if we don't get to express ourselves or be ourselves, we feel like we're weird, or we'll feel like we're rebellious. But I feel like at the root of it, that's not really what it is. Like, everybody's different, everybody has their own interest styles, everybody has different things that they're desiring and attracted to. So it's like not speaking up or not saying what you want, you feel like you don't really know, or you feel like you're left out, or you feel like you're weird or something. All right, so when we finally do get to speak up for ourselves, what is humor? What do we enjoy here? Yeah, you got order and ambition. All right. So it looks like somebody is able to find something that they're able to do for work because they know what they like. It's like somebody's able to do this for work or something like that. I hope that makes sense. Or somebody's going to be able to incorporate something that they enjoy. That could, I don't know why that reminds me of like how a lot of people will say, well, I knew I needed, this is Virgo, sorry, on YouTube, this is Virgo. Like a lot of people will be like, I needed to do this, or I needed this as a solution, so I started this business. But people do that because they knew what they needed for themselves. They knew what solution they needed. They were able to make a decision for themselves, so they use that for other people and things like that. So that could be something like that. All right, what energy should you be in, Virgo, for yourself? Yeah, passion, what you desire. Okay. So that could be, I feel like that's what you got to figure out. Because the root of this is like somebody has their own style, or, something like that. What do you desire here, Virgos? Now, this could be like maybe you're looking back at something, because we pulled angel. It could be a Sag or an Aries or whatever, but whoever you were dealing with, maybe you weren't attracted to them and you didn't say anything, or maybe you made a decision and you didn't desire it and you never said anything. So this depends, but what do you actually desire here for yourself, Virgos? If you don't, some people don't know, takes time. You got to figure it out. But what do you desire for yourself? Or maybe you're attracted to somebody, Virgo. Let's see. You got fight, connectivity, and power. What is this? Spirituality and mystery. Wait, hold on. What do you... Maybe you don't know, 7 of Cups, or maybe you're looking in the wrong direction. Maybe it's time for you to experiment with certain things. What energy should you be in with passion here, Virgos? Okay, yeah, 8 of Pentacles. There's something that you actually want to work on, build. Maybe it's something creative. Maybe you want to build it. What's the outcome that you're desiring? Is this a repetitive thing that you do? Okay, you desire the Magician. You want to be able to create what? So that's what I'm saying. You want to be innovative. Cancer already came out as innovative. That's their personality. That's something that they do. What do you want to create here with the Magician? You're like, I just want to create something for myself or something like that. Yeah, innovation again. You want to do something different. You got defense and defiance. You want to be able to block out people that are going against you or disrespecting you. So that's what I was saying. Your rule is like you don't like secrets. That was the root of it. Your rule is resisting mystery. So you need somebody that's who they are, that's how they are, that's how they act, they're outspoken. You need to create, you're trying to create a way for people to not disrespect you. What would be disrespectful or what would go against you? You're like, I need to create a blockage for this. I don't like that. Or, oh, humor. Your ambition. So you're like, I don't, why are you, you feel like somebody laughing or indulging in something is that that goes against you? That's disrespectful. What do you want somebody to do instead? You're like, no, don't take that lightly, or what? What do you want somebody to do instead? You want somebody to take something real serious? Okay, leadership. So you don't, this is the thing, you don't want somebody to fit in, personality and style. You don't want somebody to fit into the group. You want somebody to be a leader. If this is you, you're like, for work, I want to initiate something. I want to do my own work. I want to do my own business. You don't want somebody to be a follower or fit in. Okay, so you want, this is what you want, somebody to be a leader. That could just depends on who you're dating, who you're with. Maybe you're like, no, I'm only attracted to this type of person. Okay, what would the leader be doing? What are they going to initiate? Again, back to the thing, like if you don't want your child to be fit in or you don't want them to be a follower, things like that, you have to, you know, you got to start letting them make choices or something like that. All right, what would somebody be initiating or being a leader as? Yeah, sexuality, rebellion, versatility, dominance, and courage. All right, we'll see what that is. What's the outcome for you, Virgos? What's the outcome for you? All right, you got love, knowledge, and strength. All right, we'll see. All right, Libra is next. I am getting hungry. I do want to do all the signs, though. Oh, no, we might make it to Sagittarius, depending on how hungry I get. Let's see, 103. All right, Libras. Libras. If you're watching me on TikTok, this will be time stamped on my YouTube, y'all. And the kick people. All right, what's the energy surrounding the Libras? What's the situation for my Libras? Okay, versatility, Empress energy, being very comfortable, creative, all kinds of different skill sets and things like that. All right, so this could be the feminine energy, feminine side, Empress. All right, what role do you play here, Libras? Okay, resistance. Okay, what are you resisting? What are you resisting, Libras? Fluidity. All right, so you do not, whatever is going with the flow, you're going against the flow, basically. You're like, I don't want to go with the flow. I don't want to experiment. Okay, what other energy should you be in here, Libras? You're literally going against the flow here. All right, but what energy should you be in? Thank you. Okay, so you should be rebellious. Okay, rebellion must have been the theme today. Rules and regulations versus rebellion. Okay, so you need to go against what you normally would do or what other people normally do. So, what do people normally do in your scenario? They normally change. Okay, so you're like, no, I'm going to stay the same, or what will you do instead? So they, ooh, that flew out. What does this say? Okay, it says dominance. That might come back out. But what are you going to do instead here? So everybody else normally changes. They normally switch up. Okay, so self-esteem to me is like, you're not going to change what you normally do. You're going to stay the same even if other people change. You're going to, I feel like you're going to be the only person not to change something. So like other people, they'll feel offended, insecure, left out, and then they switch up so that they can fit in. I feel like that's the theme of the readings today. This little braid is pulling. I can't wait to get my pixie cut back, but I should do my hair today, but it's raining. But yeah, you're not going to change. What do other people change? Maybe about themselves or their situation? What do they normally change here? Potential. This could literally be their child. The Page of Pentacles and pride. Okay, so people normally switch up because people are watching. Or they're getting attention for something. So they're like, no, you're like, no, I'm not going to switch up. You're like, no, I don't want to get, like people switch up when people are looking. Everybody changes whenever, like when somebody's looking. So like code switching, or what might make you feel like kind of different or left out here, Libra? Okay, you got hustle and I see mood. So this could be, if this is financial, I'm going to pull another one because mood kind of fell out. But if it's financial, you're like, I'm not going to just buy stuff to show off just because people are looking. I'm not going to buy, like people who buy houses and then you end up spending all that money in maintenance just because everybody else has a house. Or, so it looks like it's something financial. Or other people are spending money on this. All right, let's get 8 cards. Or maybe other people are like, no, I'm going to get something expensive. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's so something is a competition. People are, so I feel like people are competing change. There's the death card. So when there's a lot of people around, I feel like this is you with the Two of Swords. You're like, no, I'm not changing just because other people are watching or everybody else is competing. There's no need to do that, you feel like. Queen of Swords, you got the Temperance, the Three of Swords, and then the Queen of Cups. So you got Scorpio and Sagittarius are the cards that are coming out. Yeah, literally, when there's a bunch of people around, this could also be like maybe people don't get along. Maybe like say maybe it's like a family of people, they fighting. I'm not about to act like we get along just because we got company or, you know, something like that. But I feel like there's a lot of competition and then people switch up because people are looking. You're like, no, I'm not doing that. Okay, what's the they make like a major shift too. They make like a major change. You're like, no, I'm not doing that. Oh, okay. Why do people change? What's the effect of the change for them? Or what do they think is going to change or something? Yeah, inspiration. So Aquarius rules groups of people. So I feel like there's a whole bunch of people around that literally, they're like, okay, well, yeah, focused on mystery and then skill, you. So it's like what's Libra doing, or where's Libra at, or you're like, no, I'm not going to change that. You're like, I don't really care that everybody's looking, or I don't really care what everybody else is doing. Okay, what's the Temperance energy? That's your advice, though. That's what your advice is. So your advice is don't switch up. Everybody else switches up. It's almost like you're changing something, but it's not noticeable. Because rebellion is slightly different than defiance. I always explain that. Like, rebellion is kind of just like going against the grain or finding like a loophole. Like, everybody else is trying to fit in, or everybody else is going to automatically switch up. But you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, what's the Temperance? You just don't, I don't know what the Temperance has to do with it, but we'll see. Okay, knowledge. Now, this could be you. Maybe you're like, yeah, I already know. Okay, what is their knowledge about? What do we already know here? We already understand something. What do we understand? Innovation. Superstition. And style. Okay. So literally, okay, so what we know is that you're manipulated into worrying about doing something your own way. It's manipulation so we already know that. So that could be why you don't need to switch something up. It's like it doesn't matter. You don't need to, you can do something your own way. There's a million ways to do this. Let me write this down real quick. Okay. You are resisting fluidity, though. Maybe you don't want to experiment. Maybe you don't want to do something your own way. You don't want to go with the flow. What's the outcome for you, Libras? And then we're going to do Scorpio next. What's the outcome for the Libras? You got humor, ambition, fight, and emotions. I literally feel like literally going out or work is what's distracting you from your emotions here. All right, we got instinct and order. What is your intuition telling you to do first? Because I feel like something is, yeah, peace. You don't even have to worry about something. What can you be at peace with here, Libra? Because it's almost like you don't even, I'm also getting two people switch up because, oh, everybody's noticing, everybody's looking. You're like, wait, nobody's even paying attention to that, or it doesn't matter in the end. What are you able to be at peace with, Libra? Yeah, your decisions. Yeah, somebody is going to say something to make you feel insecure, literally. I wouldn't even pay attention to it. You got voice potential and self-esteem. It's okay to feel different than other people. Don't switch up. Like, literally, do not change just because you feel insecure. Think about why you feel that way. All right, Scorpio. Scorpio is up next. Ooh. Ow. Hi, y'all. These are general, y'all. Those of you asking questions. All right, Scorpios. We might, because I'm getting very, very hungry. I might stop at Sagittarius and do Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces later. Just a heads up. If there's a Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, I cannot promise a reading at the moment because I am starving. I have to eat. But it's rainy, so I don't mind coming back. It's nothing to do, but I'll go to the gym, and that's pretty much it. All right, what's the scenario surrounding my Scorpios? What's surrounding the Scorpios? Okay, truth. All right, so when we see truth, we can see the real truth. Yes, I do read court cases. Yep. All right, so we can see the actual truth. For those of you that want personal readings, you can go to the link in my bio. All right, so, and then honestly, when I get my YouTube monetized, y'all can subscribe there, but we'll cross that bridge. I gotta get 3,000 watch hours on there to get monetized again. All All right, truth. Let's see. It should be monetized in like a week or so. Y'all, I am about to take these braids out. That's one thing I'm going to do. Shout out to Brazil on YouTube. All right, so sorry, y'all. Scorpio, truth. Okay, truth. Let me fix that timestamp. All right, so we see the truth. Okay, what do we see the truth about here? What do we see the truth about? What do we see the truth about? Superstition. Okay, so first of all, we see the truth about worries, or we see the truth about something that's fake. So like we saw something is fake, or we see the truth about anxiety. Okay, what's fake here? Something was a lie, it was fake, it's made up, it's not real, you don't have to worry about it. What's fake here? Ambition. So there's like a superstition around working, or a superstition around a career, or we believe that something was a repetitive pattern and it's not. There's a superstition around a career or ambition, or like being ambitious. Interesting. What are we taught here? So this looks like maybe somebody works to get to a certain goal. I don't know why I'm getting this, but somebody may believe like, okay, I work up to this certain goal and it makes me feel satisfied. I feel, completed. But if you listen to a lot of like people in those successful positions, they don't always feel like that. Like, okay, say somebody was like an NFL player. They were very ambitious. They got to the pinnacle of their career, but then they have CTE and they're depressed and sad. Or like, there could be a superstition about a job position, a job role, but I feel like it's ambition in general, like working. I mean, like, even if we talk about like corporate, right? Like corporate jobs are complete. Like, that shit's bullshit. They don't, it has nothing to do with you being intelligent. It has nothing to do with your work experience. It literally just depends on who likes you. That's it. If you ever work corporate, it is because people like people. That's who gets promoted, or whoever kisses ass the most, that's who gets promoted. So there's like a superstition surrounding like working. Okay, what did we believe in this scenario? I don't know. Those are just examples, but what did we believe? Okay, versatility. So that's Empress energy. This could be something feminine. Maybe somebody thought, okay, this job only belongs to women. Only women should do this job. Or I feel like too, somebody may have thought like, okay, this career, this type of job brings comfort. All right, what is the truth about it that you're able to see? What do we actually realize? I feel like too, there could be a superstition about working mothers. We see healing and vision. Also, if somebody is worried that something's going to be repetitive, like somebody is comfortable in a repetitive cycle, that's not what's going to happen. It's actually going to heal or be fixed. Yeah, courage, the truth about worries, the truth about anxiety, the truth about being worried. Okay, let's see. What role do you play here, Scorpio? What role do you play here, Scorpio? Okay, your mood. All right, so you may regret something. Okay. Okay, there could be a superstition about working. Maybe you feel like you didn't build up something, but let's see. What might you regret or be sad about here? Oh, peace. Okay. The truth about worries is that I feel like in some cases, you should be concerned. You should be concerned. I feel like you regret not noticing something or not caring about something, or you regret resting, or you regret not noticing or not paying attention or not being concerned. Cuz that's what you regret, is peace. So I feel like in this case, the truth about superstition also is like you should be concerned about certain things, you should care. What did you not pay attention to? What did you not notice? You're like, damn, I should have paid attention to that. I should have noticed that. I shouldn't have. Maybe you shouldn't have took a break, or, okay. What were you at peace with here? Or what did you not notice? The connection, connectivity. You didn't realize two things were connected. Okay. What's the first thing? This has to do with career, building something up. What's the first thing? Okay, determination and focus. Okay, so a superstition about ambition. So it could be what you're supposed to focus on, work towards. What is that directly connected to? Now, this could be a thing where we're talking about whatever you focused on, that's what you learned, right? So we're talking about career fields. If somebody works around all people, they all work for the government, that's what you're going to end up doing. That's everybody around you, they all work for the government. That's what you focused on. That's where you're going to not all the time, but that's where you're going to end up. That's what you see around you. If somebody works around, like say somebody lives in a destitute area and there's not a lot of jobs, and everybody does, and I'm not, when I say this, I'm not talking down on any jobs, y'all. That's not what I'm saying. So don't do that shit. I ain't talk. I've worked every job. I done worked at McDonald's and all kinds of shit. So if somebody, I done DoorDash, I do anything I get my money. So don't, that's not what I'm saying. So it's like, say somebody lives in an area where everybody only works fast food jobs. That is what somebody will focus on. That is going to be their goal. That's what they're going to see. If you have like a child, like if you look at people who were raised up in entertainment, that is what they were raised to focus on. That's their job. So it's like Beyonce is Beyonce because she was in a pageant at 5 years old. Her parents focused on that. Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson because Joe made them dance and sing at the age of 5, 10 years old. So it's like what you focus on, that is directly connected, I guess, to the outcome in your career. But we're going to see what else that is connected to. So what you're determined to have, what you focused on, what is that connected to? This is what you're thinking. You're like, damn, I didn't even notice that. All right, what is that connected to here? Okay, order. I guess the order of things, how you're going to create something. I think order 2 came out as Taurus. It's like what you focus on, that's what you see first. That's what you learn first. That's how something's going to go. Yeah, and then you have knowledge. So this is what you're going to be knowledgeable about. It's what you studied. It's what you learned. It's what you focused on. So you're kind of, I feel like you're like, damn, I should have thought about that. I should have considered that. I should have paid attention to that. What is the most important energy for you to focus on right now, Scorpios? Because I feel like something is about a focus here. What should you focus on for yourself right now to fix it? Because we don't want you to be in mood, but what should you focus on right now? Hi, y'all. These are general for right now. Okay, you've got fluidity and then self-love. So I feel like it's time for you to experiment and see. Maybe you were always focused on somebody else. Maybe you were always focused on your career and not yourself. You're going to have to kind of experiment and see what makes you feel more comfortable. What else would you do out of self-love here? Okay, yeah, respect. I feel like there's something with a Taurus here. What were you focused on before, Scorpio? Oh, you were focused on finesse. So I feel like maybe you're trying to get a shortcut. So you're focused on, because that's the Seven of Swords. Hopefully you're not so focused on like trying to catch somebody up, or what should you have been focused on? You're like, if I wasn't focused on that plan, I could have focused on this, that, and the third. But what should you have been focused on before? Okay, defense. So you were, it's like if this was a plan of something that you wanted to create, you were so focused on what you were intending to have in the outcome, right? Like you're so focused on having this outcome, you're not realizing why it didn't work. You should have been thinking about, okay, like why might this plan backfire? Why might this goal backfire? What am I not paying attention to? But you should have been focused on defense. Okay, blocking out what? Maybe protecting yourself from something. All right, blocking out what? Yeah, order. So that's a Taurus came out as order. Okay, let's get the cards. Let's see. All right, well, you'll see the truth anyway. We'll see what it is. So being concerned, focusing, things like that. Let's get 8 cards. Okay, so intuition is coming right out the gate. That's a good card. We always want the High Priestess to come out first. There's the Knight of Swords. Okay, so already we're challenging intuition. You're already challenging your own intuition, or somebody's already going against your intuition. This could be within yourself, like you follow your intuition and you change your mind or something like that. Okay, the Ace of Wands, the Star card. There's a Hierophant. There's Taurus. Okay, 3 of Cups, 5 of Wands. And then the Page of Wands. I feel like you're fine when you're isolated or when you're in your own head and then other people can influence you. What is your intuition telling you here? Because you come out knowing from the get-go that you should do something, and then something challenges that. Yeah, mood. Okay, so that was the first part. You are mood. You're either sad or you're ignoring something, that you regret something. That's just it. So that was correct. Okay, what's going to challenge what it's like, no, I'm not sad. It's almost like that, but it's okay. You just, what challenges that notion? You got resilience and superstition. What's distracting you from your intuition, Scorpios? Resistance. What are you trying to resist? Or what are you resisting? All right, strength. I don't know if there's a Leo here. Yeah, causes and in humor. It's like, where are you at down here in these 8 cards? There could be something dealing with an Aquarius and a Taurus that kind of stops you. Okay, your defiance. See, out of self-love, you would have some sort of rules or regulations. What were you told to do? You could be jealous or mad or upset, but what are you told to do is pride. What are you doing instead? You're like getting distracted by the 5 of Wands. Spirituality. I knew it. I knew, I was waiting on that to come out. This is a religious belief system. Something is stopping you from following your intuition. Intuition is separate from spirituality. That's 2 separate things, because spirituality can be literally anything that you're believing in. You don't have pride in yourself. You're putting an energy outside of, you're giving an energy outside of yourself more power. You're getting distracted. Because right now, if you're in mood, you're like, man, I wish I would have known that, or I'm really like, I've told this story before, right? Like, there was this girl and she was very religious and she went to church, and I remember her talking about how she gives tithes every Sunday. And then literally Monday, she was calling me asking for gas money. It's like, but your focus was church, so you're giving all your money to church, and now you don't have any money to get home. So it's like you're not focused on like your career, or like, don't spend too much time. It's no insult to anybody, but don't spend too much time meditating. Don't spend too much time praying. Don't spend too much time watching tarot videos. Maybe you need to go research something, study something to like get you out of where you are right now. What else does spirituality have you doing? Because again, that is separate from intuition. And please watch. I do want y'all to watch, you specifically, Scorpio. I hope you're still watching at this point. But you need to watch the important message that I said in the beginning. Because I gave examples of where spirituality can make somebody ignore their intuition and have them making a bad decision. All right, I gave examples of that. That happens more than you think. What does spirituality have you doing? Or something like that. You got style. See, yeah, style, hustle, and ambition. Something is your mood, though. Maybe because what's making you upset? Are you giving money to somebody because of a spiritual belief system? Yeah, see, defiance and passion. It's like you're not. What? What does spirituality have you doing here? Or a religion or something like that. Waiting. So maybe this could be like, maybe you feel, don't be the person that believes like, oh, we're supposed to struggle and I'm going to get to heaven and have something better. Please do not do that. If it's something where it's spiritual, like, okay, I have to wait until a new moon to manifest, or I have to wait until a full moon to release, or it's like you're constantly waiting, or you have faith instead of taking action, or you're like, okay, I'm just going to pray, or I'm just going to meditate. It's just going to get better. Sometimes you have to take action to fix things and do things on your own. What are you supposed to be doing? Like, what is your intuition telling you to do? Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. It's time to like, yeah, superstition about work. It's time to build something right now. You need to research, do something right now. If you're watching and you're like, well, when will money come to me? It's time to research a higher paying job, or it's time to research and get like a certificate, or take a class, or like maybe take a real estate class, or study day trading, study investments, or get a CDL license, or like it's time to like actually do something. Because this is spirituality has you waiting. This is actually taking action and building something, doing something, working on something. All right, so if you've been watching a bunch of readings and you're like, well, when is this going to come to me? And you got to work right now. You got to do something now. You have to look at, like, say you're pulling cards. Those cards are not going to give you the answer. The thing that you need to focus on is going to give you the answer. The thing that you need to work towards is going to give you the answer. All right, so that's Scorpio's reading. All right, I'm gonna do Sagittarius, y'all, and then the last few signs I will come back and do y'all's later because I am hungry. Okay, so I will do it later. All right, Sag. Sorry to if there's any Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta go eat. I'll be back though. I'll be back. I didn't want to be a big back and just eat before. All right, what's the scenario for my Sagittarius? Let me timestamp this too. All right, what's the scenario here, Sagittarius? What's the scenario for the Sagittarius? Okay, resistance. I think Libra and Scorpio came out as resistance, but let's see. This could be within yourself as well. So let's see. What's being resisted here? Okay, self-love. Resisting doing something that makes us comfortable for ourselves. What role do you play here, Sagittarius? Now, yesterday, Sagittarius, y'all reading, you came out as yourself. All right, you came out as your advice was knowledge. So you knew what you needed to do for yourself. So don't, you don't want to revert back or anything like that. All right, what role do you play in this reading, Sag? Let's see. Defense. Okay. What are you... Now, in the Scorpio reading, they wish they would have focused on defense. I don't know if they wish it would have focused on you, but what are you blocking out here? So you have your guard up or you're blocking something out. You're saying no to something. What are you blocking out? Oh, you're blocking out resistance. So if somebody's resisting self-love, you're like, no, don't do that. You're blocking out resistance. Okay. What energy should you be in, Sagittarius? You should be in love. You should be loving. Okay. So if it's resistance in self-love, you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's hard for me to. So you should do something loving, generous, be around maybe your family, friends, help somebody. What would you do out of love here, Sagittarius? What would you do out of love? If it's about like talking to somebody or having to explain something, make sure that you say it in a kind, generous, nice way. All right, what would you be doing out of love here? Okay, yeah, angel again. So that was the last read. This could be like, this is what you were supposed to do the last time anyway. So you can rewatch the reading from yesterday too. But out of love, I feel like you would be yourself. You would be kind, generous. Maybe you would have more patience. All right, the temperance is having patience. It could be teaching. All right, you want to teach somebody. Might want to teach somebody something. Okay, be generous, kind. Who do you need to do this for? Let's see who needs, I guess, because I'm assuming somebody needs this around you, or I'm also getting two out of love. Some of you may need to tell like a story about your own life or something like that. All right, but who do you need to do this out of love for? You need to like show up somewhere, go out, be around somebody, help them, something like that. But who is this for? Okay, potential, strength, superstition. Let me get one more in vision. Let me get one more vision. Okay, superstition again. Some of you could be a Leo. Some of you could be a child with the Page of Pentacles, potential. It's almost like somebody just needs you to be you, or somebody just needs you to show up and be you. Maybe you need to be honest. Sagittarius can rule honesty. Let's see what else we got. Might have to teach somebody, tell somebody the truth out of love for them. Okay, you got the Hierophant. There's the High Priestess. So there's intuition. The Five of Wands, the Ace of Wands. Somebody might get distracted. So I feel like just continue to be yourself. Y'all know I'm a Sag. So if I pull this in a reading, this is me. All right, but But yeah, so it's just, I mean, this is what I do. I like to do this. So I like to do this out of kindness for people. So it's something that you guys like to do. Um, Something that you do where you could be around other people with love. That's just being yourself. Let's see what else. Ace of Pentacles, a Hangman, and then the Lovers. Gemini's advice was to listen to a Sagittarius, so maybe you have to help a Gemini. Let's see, what is the Hierophant here real quick? Okay, versatility. What are you doing as the High Priestess? What is your intuition telling you to do? We know it's to be yourself. We know it's to be loving, kind, generous, help somebody, teach somebody. If there's any dating involved, I'm not dating, but if there's any dating involved, be yourself. Tell somebody the truth about yourself. You know, things like that. But what else is your intuition telling you to do in the High Priestess? Or what is your intuition telling you? Okay, so self-esteem was Libra. If you're dealing with a Libra, they feel left out, or you know that somebody will feel left out or isolated. So you might have to surround yourself with them or around them. What triggers, if this is you and you feel left out, somebody needs you to be you right now. That's what you would be doing out of love. You would be being yourself, having patience. So don't feel odd about that or weird. What's triggering self-esteem right now? Defiance. That might be Scorpio. This is okay. What's the rule here? So have patience with somebody first of all, but what's the rule that somebody is breaking or going against? Rebellion. So somebody is supposed to be different. What are they doing instead? It's like somebody's trying to fit in. You're going to know that. So maybe you have to make somebody feel comfortable. Okay. What's the Five of Wands? What's the conflict? Healing, sexuality, and attitude. So a perspective. Okay, don't get distracted. I like when I pull the High Priestess, but yeah, out of love, you're gonna have to be patient, kind, nice, help, generous. It could be for a Pisces, Gemini. What else does this person need from you? Being yourself. You're already being yourself. It's not like you have to go out of your way to do it, but what do they need from you? It could be people around you. They need change. So what is the current issue? Maybe you come in and you actually change a scenario. Okay, so dominance. What's controlling them, or what is the dominant energy right now? Okay, and what does it have control over? It could be with inspiration. Okay, wait, hold on. What does it have control over? Style. So if these are people, right, and Aquarius is controlling a Cancer, or an Aquarius is controlling the path that something is going on, or the Aquarius is the dominant energy. So people, like if these are people, everybody's listening to this Aquarius instead of a Cancer or something like that. If this is about somebody learning how to do their own style, be themselves, I feel like you have to tell somebody that. I feel like by you being yourself, that's going to inspire somebody else to be themselves. I feel like too, if these are not the signs, it's like groups of people, somebody doesn't do well with being around groups of people. They always feel like they have to fit in, or they feel very isolated. I'm also getting too, just somebody doesn't feel like they don't feel like they can do their own thing. Okay, what does this need to change into? I'm going to see how, I'm trying to figure out how you can change it though. It's almost like just being yourself or something, or being nice or kind. So what should this change into? Okay, knowledge. I feel like this is a mindset. Somebody needs like to open their mind, and that's how you're going to help them. I want to make this more like personable to y'all, because it's hard for me to read for other Sagittarius because I'm a Sag. So if I'm coming out as like the high priestess and angel, I know that people like to listen to readings, and it helps people like open up their mindset and think outside the box and get them on the right path and things like that. So that would be me doing something out of love, is when I do free readings and I do readings for people. Or, and that's just me, that's something I like to do. Or like, maybe you like to be a teacher, maybe you need to have more patience with somebody, like be patient with them. Let's clarify the dominant energy real quick. I'm trying to make it fit for other folks. What's the dominant energy with inspiration? Yeah, people. Somebody is very worried about like what other people think, other groups of people, how they'll view them. That's the issue. That is, so whoever is watching this, if you're a fellow Sagittarius, it's like somebody outside you, like the attention controls whatever somebody does all the time. I don't know how you're going to change that though, but we'll see. So, and what does that have control over? Or maybe this person, they get more attention so everybody listens to them or something like that. Yeah, the Five of Swords. I feel like too, somebody is, if you, I don't know if y'all know, but in the Six of Wands, there's like a person looking kind of jealous in the background. It's almost like something controls somebody's like jealousy or hatred, or, and then here you go at the bottom as a Temperance. Somebody like needs you to lead them. So what, let's just, I gotta keep clarifying. What would you be doing as angel, love? Like, what would you do to bring a change here? Maybe somebody may need you to like vouch for them in public. I don't, maybe somebody wants you to like publicly claim them, or I don't know what that would be. What else would you be doing to change this? The King of Cups. You would just be comfortable. Yeah, the King of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Swords. Like, I feel like you're going to tell somebody, because the root of it is resistance and self-love. So I feel like out of love for somebody else, you may have to let them know, like, this outweighs, like the King of Cups, that outweighs this. Like self-love, that outweighs like negativity or negative thinking. So somebody needs to be, I feel like maybe remind somebody like, no, it's okay. Like, you're fine. The way you look, the way you dress, that's cool. It's okay. Somebody may need to hear that from you. All right, what's the outcome here for you? Yeah, you got rebellion, hustle, and humor. All right. Yeah, transition and change and guidance. Maybe somebody will start to listen to you. What's your energy in the outcome? And I'm going to get another card for you. What's your energy in the outcome here? Okay, you're determined or focused. What will you be focused on? We see what you need to do. So, okay, yeah, power and personality, yeah. Intuition. So, yeah, I feel like you're just going to let people know, let them be yourself. I also let them be themselves. I also feel like some of you may have to tell somebody else, like, things that you've been through. Like, if this is your child, I tell my daughter everything. I tell her every mistake I done made, everything. Because I'm like, look, you need to know. Adults don't know no better either. Or like, you know, it's okay being you. It's okay being different. Things like that. What's the outcome for you? Okay, you got the Fool, a new perspective, the Empress, and the King of Pentacles. All right, yeah, there's a Temperance, the Knight of Pentacles in the world. So I feel like you presenting something literally out in public. All right. Do things with people. Make sure you're putting yourself out there. All right, y'all. I am very, very hungry, though. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, I promise I got y'all later. I absolutely got y'all later. I'm going to go eat. I might come back right after I eat, honestly. But I'm going to see how I feel. Because I want to give y'all a good reading. And if I'm starving and all that, it's not going to be good. All right, y'all. If you're watching on TikTok, this is up on YouTube. It's time stamped. All right, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all very much. If you're on Kick, it's time stamped. Thank y'all so much for helping me build the channel back up. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back.